Hello everybody, my name is Pat Driscoll and I'm here with Jared Anderson. He's a friend of mine from Pep Band. Jared, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Jared Anderson. I'm a rising senior here at the university. I'm a music education major currently, but I'm in the process of switching over to become a music BA with an influence in communications. I'm also a cardinal ambassador here at U of L. I'm involved with the marching band, the pep band, and the concert band programs at the university. And I also umpire Little League Baseball in the nearby community.
Thank you. With his involvement in bands, I figured he would be a good one to talk to us about arousal, stress, and anxiety that he feels while performing. So, the book defines arousal as a blend of physiological and psychological activity in a person. It refers to the intensity dimensions of motivation at a particular moment. Highly aroused people are mentally and physically activated. They show increased heart rate, breathing, and perspiration. Is there anything you notice while performing or leading up to a performance when you're aroused?
Usually my heartbeat is a little bit faster. I feel more confidence in myself has always been a big one when I'm highly aroused before a performance. And I seem to be a little more energetic as well.
Alright. The book defines anxiety as a negative emotional state. It's characterized by nervousness, worry, and apprehension. It's associated with activation or arousal of the body. Within that state, anxiety is the ever-changing mood when we're anxious, like we're constantly feeling apprehension or tension. Are there some things that you feel when you're anxious and how you might cope with those?
When I'm anxious, I'm usually a little bit shaking just from being nervous. I don't seem to sweat too much, but I've seen others that'll sweat when they're anxious. And I'll just give an uneasy appearance to people and I'll be restless.
The book defines stress as a substantial imbalance between demand, physical and or psychological, and response capability under conditions where failure to meet that demand has important consequences. The book also talks about a process to stress that's based on the environment someone's exposed to, how they perceive the environment, and their response because of that. Can you comment to that?
I don't usually get too stressed out before performances. I've seen other people that are stressed out usually for being underprepared or knowing that too much of their grade is relying on this performance. And those have been big ways that people have been stressed out. And usually you can just tell they're a lot more tense and they'll be angered a lot quicker.
Thank you. Alright, the next thing we talk about is trait anxiety. This is a personality factor based on the person that predisposes a person to respond in a different way. So the idea behind it is you could have two people exposed to the same stressors and they'll react two different ways. Anything you can comment to that?
That happens a lot in the music world, especially when it comes time for our juries where we're performing our solos in front of the entire faculty. In order to receive a grade for one of our classes, everybody's facing the same exact situation, just their music is different than the other person's. Some people can go in, just play, be perfectly fine, while other people, as the time grows near for them to perform, they'll be outside the door shaking, sweating, and just trying to find ways to calm down from their anxiety before they have to go in and perform, because it's kind of hard to perform a piece with your instrument when you're constantly shaking, as it will interrupt the
So there are two theories. They're very similar and they fall under drive theories. These both have correlations between arousal and anxiety as they relate to their performance. The first one is the inverted U hypothesis. This explains the relation as follows. At low levels of arousal, performance suffers. At highest performance, the arousal is at a balance, and if it gets too high, performance starts to suffer again. Can you comment to that?
That tends to happen too often. If you're too aroused, you'll find yourself overconfident, thinking you can do more than you can actually accomplish while performing, and sometimes it causes you to try and push yourself more than you've ever been before, usually resulting in some type of interruption or mess up with the piece. And also the same if you're under-aroused and you're just not focused and set on the piece, or it'll just be an overall poor performance. But if you're somewhere in the middle, you tend to stay very focused and sit on the music that you're performing and no issues occur.
All right, thank you. IZOF is another term here. It's individualized zones of optimal functioning. The book states that top athletes have a zone of optimal state anxiety in which their best performance occurs. Outside of this zone, poor performance happens. This is different from the inverted U in that best performance is not always at the middle of the arousal state, but they say that it fluctuates based on the person. Different performers and athletes have maximum levels, and this can be found on any part of the spectrum. So they say the optimal level is not a single point, but it's along a spectrum.
That can happen in the music world as well. Some people need an hour or two just to prepare and get focused before a performance, whether it's a solo or a larger ensemble, and some people can walk right in after finishing lunch or coming straight from another class, not even be focused and still perform just as well. Sometimes you'll find yourself a little more easily distracted that way if you haven't gotten your mind focused on what you're about to do.
All right. Can you comment on any ways that, or preparations you have to account for stressors that you could see, or what you do when you are stressed?
Usually I'll just arrive to a practice room rather early, warm up and practice a little bit, take some breaks to go grab a drink of water and just make sure my instruments are working condition, go carry on a conversation with some people, and just keep on doing that until it's time to perform, walk out, not look at the audience at all, and just look at my music, look at my instrument, and stay focused on that the entire time.
So if you find yourself stressed, how would you cope with your stress?
A lot of times we'll cope with it just by taking a quick break. Usually it's because I feel like I have not accomplished what I needed in the practice room with my instrument, or that I'm just not prepared at all. So sometimes just taking a quick break to cool back down and relax will be the best way. Go back and just make a list of what I need to do, get ready, and make sure I'm very well prepared before the performance.
All right, thank you. Can you tell us some of the symptoms or signs that you notice when you are stressed?
When I get stressed, I tend to lose my appetite very easily, as well as being quick to anger and very easily annoyed. Just a sense of kind of being overwhelmed, and other interruptions can cause distraction from that.
Final question here. How do you see stress and anxiety as it relates to our fear of failure and perhaps what others think, or what we think others think of us?
When we give a performance, we always want it to be the best that we can do, and always want to impress others, whether it's with music or some type of sports. So when we know we're under accomplishing what we need to do, it allows our stress to build up, and anxiety can build up a lot easier that way. So I do believe that anxiety and stress are one of the reasons of a fear of failure.
All right, thank you very much.